In this video, we're going to see how we can access the elements of our array. So we're going to go to the array and we're going to take out each of the elements individually and we're going to put them into register R0. So this is achieved by this little piece of code here, which is very similar to the previous bit of code. The only differences are that instead of storing the contents of register R0 into the memory location, which is our array, we're going to go to the memory location, which is our array, and we're going to load those values into register R0. One other difference is that the compare is going to start at a value of 1. So let's go ahead and we will load this program into the RAM. Now one other thing we'll do is that we're assuming that the values 0 to 9 are already in memory, so we will just go ahead and we will manually load these. So you can simply click on each of these elements and just type a value in. So we'll go 1, 2. Okay, so the memory is now loaded up with our array values. So let's quickly run through this. Now, whenever we run through this, it's just going to get the values and put them into register R0. So it's going into our array and each element of our array, and it's pulling out the value for that element and then moving on to the next value. And when it gets up to 9, it's going to finish. So we've got access to all of the values within our array. But what if we want access to just one particular value? How are we going to do that? Now, in order to get access to each individual element within the array, all we have to do is go to the beginning of the array and then add on the correct offset to get to a particular element. And the offset value has to sit in the index register. So here's an example here. We're going to have the beginning of the array, which is 8100, and it's got the array name. We've also got in this instance here, the array length is 10, but we've got an extra value here. So this value is the value of n, and this is the nth element of the array. So let's say, for example, we wanted to get the very first element of the array, then this value of n would have to be 0, because the first element is pointing to the name of the array. Now, if you wanted to get the second element, this would be a value of 1, and the third element would be a value of 2, and so on and so forth. So if we wanted to get access to, say for example, the fifth element, the sixth element of the array, this would have to be a value of 5. So 0 is the first element, then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 is going to be the sixth element of the array. So in this instance here, the sixth element of the array is actually going to be the number 5. So we can go through the process here of having the data, the array length in register R1. We can have the element that we're interested in is in the index register. So this is element n, which this instance is a value of 5. And we can load the contents of the base address, which is 8100 plus the 5, into register R0. So we're going to load the contents of address 8105 into register R0. So let's go ahead and we'll load this up and we'll see it working. Now, again, we're going to assume that the values are already in our memory, so we will just go ahead and load those values in just now. So we're going to load in the value n is equal to 5. So that's going to be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the sixth element here, which is the value 5. So it will go get the value 5 and it will put it into register R0. So let's just quickly run through this and we'll see it working. So you can see here it's gone and it's put the value 5 in register R0. So this is a quick and easy method that we can use in order to get access to an array. So from what we've seen so far, just using the EQU directive, this one-dimensional array is quite a simple object, and it's relatively easy for us to manipulate it. So thank you for listening. I'll get you on the next video. Goodbye.